We're rolling down the road. It's early October here in North Dakota, and one of my favorite things to do, especially early in the season, is hunt mallards in the field. And you know, we're hunting these stubble fields out here right now. There's quite a few ducks going to this field that we're heading to. We've got a convoy of decoy trailers rolling and setting up in these fields. For a lot of people that grew up across the Midwest, field hunting might be a little bit unorthodox for mallards, but out here in the Dakotas it sure does work, and it's in your face action that I just love.
Passion for the Hunt is brought to you by Arctic Shield, Shields, Matthews Archery, Dakota Decoy, Federal Premium Ammunition, Lucky Duck Premium Decoys, Crestliner Boats, Quickset by Clam, and Polar Trailers.
This fall we've had so much rain, and so we've got a lot of water in some of these low spots, and it's just been a wet fall, and so whenever you get a little bit of flooded crop, these mallards just dive into this. I mean, they just love that. And we're putting a bunch of the Dakota Extreme series out. That's kind of the bulk of the spread there, and you're not going to find a better looking mallard decoy. And then we're stacking some cannas here along the edge, and it's a much easier to hide your blinds amongst Canada goose decoys than it is amongst duck decoys because of the difference in size. And so we're going to have just a couple of family groups of Canada geese along the edge of this duck spread here, and it'll make it a lot easier for concealment.
Well, we're dealing with very little wind today. One little trick to the trade is these new water motion decoys from Lucky Duck, and they're water activated. You just set them in the water and they'll kick on by themselves. You pull them out of the water and they automatically turn off. You can't get a much easier setup. And we're going to be utilizing these today as we have zero wind here.
The idea is we're going to try to get most of the decoys out in front of us, and the pot just try to suck everything in the middle. They're going to be finishing from all different types of direction. We just need them to come out in front of us, because there's going to be no rhyme or reason to it. They're going to have birds coming over from behind us, over our shoulder, and every which way. And there's nothing you can do about that until this wind makes up its mind and blows from one direction or the other. Little boy. Kill him, kill him, kill him.
Woody, wood duck. Missed the first time, just so you didn't feel so bad.
Well, that's pretty. Better take him, guys.
Boy, that was nuts, wasn't it? How can you miss him like that many times? Take him. That's why they let you put 3 in there, you know.
There's a young greenhead. They're just trickling in here. Birds don't have a lot of color yet early in the season, but they keep popping in here. That's nice. It's pretty when they come out of that fog. This area that we're hunting today, it's what you call the heart of the prairie pothole region. Now, the prairie pothole region runs through the Dakotas and up into the prairie provinces of Canada, and it's a very crucial area for nesting puddle ducks in particular. And so a big percentage of the ducks that come down the central and Mississippi flyways are hatched in this geographical region. The reason it's so productive for ducks is there's a lot of shallow seasonal wetlands that these ducks use for their breeding. So early in the season, we'll have a lot of ducks that are just hatched locally. And when you're field hunting, you're not only hunting mallards, you have an opportunity to shoot widgeon, you have an opportunity to shoot wood ducks, green-winged teal at times, gadwalls, pintails. Basically all puddle ducks will come into these field spreads, and especially if there's a little bit of water mixed, you're going to really get a mixed bag where you just never know what's going to show up. But by far, when you're field hunting, mallards make up the bulk of the harvest, and I don't know too many duck hunters that don't love mallards.
Crack them right now.
These are coming right in.
Let's take these guys. Take them nice. There, good job.
The migration of waterfowl that happens each fall might be one of nature's greatest spectacles. It's just a sight to behold. It's breathtaking when you see enormous flocks of birds that concentrate in the fall, and just watching that migration, it's one of the signs of fall that I look forward to each year. Near Devil's Lake, North Dakota, where we're at right now, there's a huge migration of snow geese that happens every year. These snow geese push all the way out of the tundra and they migrate all the way to Texas. There's a lot of local ducks that are hatched in the area, and also a lot of ducks that come from further beyond that use this area as a funnel that concentrates that migration. Canada geese, sandhill cranes, there's just so many different birds, so many different waterfowl opportunities to hunt. And decoy hunting is one of my favorite ways to hunt. There's just something magical about placing decoys out in the field or out in the marsh and watching those birds work those decoys and then commit to those decoys. I never get tired of the sight of cupped wings, whether it's ducks or geese. It's just a sight to behold.
Oh, look at those things cut down.
Yep. Call the shot. Oh.
In north central North Dakota here where we're at today, a lot of years mid-November, a lot of birds will be gone, but some years it's mild and they stick around. But even when the birds get stale, you can have tough hunting, then you get these types of conditions late season. Birds that wouldn't give you a good look earlier in the year, when they get stressed out, they become a whole different bird, especially if they shift and relocate in a new area where you get new birds coming in. It's like the season starts all over again.
Well, the last 2 groups that came by, they weren't really shooting for the pocket. They kept wanting to go up on their top side, so my last set of spinners were too far south or downwind. So we'll pull them up a little bit tighter and see if we can bring them into the pocket a little bit better. Those are decent shots, but with this wind, as soon as they figure us out, they just cup up and they're like 20 yards downwind in a second. And it takes a decent shot into a marginal shot.
Well, they're giving us some looks, but the way this wind is, we need them to finish a little better, so we're just going to make a few adjustments. We're just going to try to open this pocket up a little more, give them a little bit more room.
Well, late season, which we're enjoying right now, we really get those ducks to congregate in big bunches. And it's been a beautiful fall, so our big late flight push was really late this year. But they're here now, and they're here in certain groups by the thousands.
It's amazing how these birds can feed out a field like this. They started on this end, and we kind of anticipated that, in the sense that we didn't set right up in the mother lode. We kind of set up off the edge here, knowing that these birds would work out this way. But the challenge is that there's a open pocket of water these birds are sitting in, and they're going right next door, right into the corn. And so we cheated off them a little bit and let them work their way this way. But if we would have went right in the mix of them, it would have been one big flock, and sometimes it's one and done. And so sometimes you can, when you know that those birds are going to be skipping a lot and they're going to eat a lot, you can get off of them a little bit and let them work their way towards you. That's what these birds did today.
What I love about late season hunting is they really feed aggressively. They tend to want to get into this corn, and they won't give it up because they're hungry, and they know they got to put a lot of fat and calories on because they got a long ride south from here. And pretty soon this weather's going to turn up here, and it's going to kick them out, force them out of here. So they feed aggressively. They haven't been hunted much, and we love to show them a little welcome to North Dakota party for them. There you go. Get him.
Hey, nice work, huh? That was pretty, huh?
Get him. Oh, nice double, Jason.
You know, it's hard to say where these new ducks come from, but you know, they'll just show up, and some of them, you know, end of the year they can be pretty stale, where they just circle around and won't really give you a good hard look, and it's amazing the next bunch that comes by, they just suck right in all the way, and so pretty incredible. You know, when you're field hunting mallards, one thing about mallards is that mallards love movement. When you watch ducks that are field feeding, if they're out in a wheat stubble field, those ducks are just running and jumping ahead of each other. They're flying up and they're landing down. And so when you watch ducks in the field, they're just marching along. I mean, they're just moving across that field. And in a large flock of ducks can actually feed out a field pretty quickly. But when you're putting your decoy spread out, try to mimic that movement. Sometimes we'll mix a few sock-style decoys in and just add a flicker of movement. But any type of movement that you can create in a duck decoy spread, especially when you're hunting over the field, is good. And puddle ducks in particular, especially mallards, love spinning wing decoys, especially early in the season, especially when you're field hunting, low light conditions. It just draws them in. It's something for them to hone in on when they're coming in on the spread. And so definitely mix in some spinning wing decoys, definitely mix in some type of motion. Any type of movement that you can create in that decoy spread is going to benefit you a lot if you're trying to hunt mallards out in the field. You know, compared to hunting ducks over a marsh or hunting over water, one thing that really makes field hunting neat, especially when you're using layout blinds, is that a lot of times the action is up close and personal. Those ducks are trying to land right on your face. And so it is really a sight when you're laying there in the morning and the ducks are working the spread even before shooting time at times. And watching those ducks come in, I mean, they're trying to land right on top of you. And I think that's what makes field hunting mallards so special for so many waterfowl hunters.
There we go.
You look over the last 15 years especially, the decoys just keep getting better and more realistic. I wish we had the decoy spreads that we have today. I wish we had those decoy spreads 20 years ago. You look at the poses and the realism of the new full body mallards. You look at the motion that's added to the spread, and all these different things intertwined together makes today's decoy spread so much more realistic than what we had just a short time ago. There we go.
This is my 28th year guiding waterfowl hunters. I've been lucky and blessed to get to do it for a long time. So what I like about it is it's an opportunity for us to show people how special the prairie is. And we've get people from 35 states, I believe, this year. I'd say half of my groups are groups I've had for up to 20 years, so they're the guys that I've known for a long time. We've just had a lot of fun with them over the years. But I love to bring new groups in as well, because it's fun to see when those big groups of ducks are coming in, the expression on their face and the look on it. Because there's waterfowl hunters that have been hunting for 50 years. I've never seen that. So it's a special place, North Dakota, and this Devil's Lake area is amazing. And that's probably my favorite part, is to show people what we've got and show how special it is, and kind of introduce them to the value of wetlands too, and the prairie and everything we've got going for us up in North Dakota. So that makes us feel pretty good and makes us sure appreciate what we have.
Drake, isn't it?
Got a Drake?
Go ahead and kill him.
That was a pretty cool shot, Bob.
Yeah, I shot him from the middle of my chest.
You know, concealment's crucial when you're waterfowl hunting, especially when you're out in the field. And we've been using layout blinds for a long time, and layout blinds are really effective, but there's no doubt in my mind that these birds they're onto these layout blinds. And so what we're doing is we're using more of a lower profile blind that has fewer hard edges, where it's not that traditional box or coffin shape. This is an Arctic shield blind here. You can just see it's just a warm insulated bag that's got an extreme heat technology, so it's warm. You can just blend in so well by just stuffing these straps where you just a little bit of a bump in the field versus the traditional coffin, and a lot easier to hide. And then they fold up, they don't take up any room. And that's one thing that we've been doing a lot of between the backrest and the way your legs are covered up. It's just easy to hide in these fields.
That's a hen. Oh, that's a drake. You're right. Good job, Bob. Way to slow him down, Jason. Good team effort.
You know, a lot of these ponds are freezing over. We don't have many days left. In fact, this might be the last day. We're going to try to get out tomorrow, but they're talking snow, freezing rain, and so it might just push these birds right through here. But if this is the last day, you know, we ended it in a great day. But if not, we're going to keep hunting these birds as long as we can until the migration's over.